Hello and welcome to Cross Stitching with Nessa. This is my channel where I'll be sharing my cross stitch that I do over a fortnight period. This week, this floss tube will be a little bit different as I've already gone through a week and have not done much stitching. Right now we've got people coming through and checking the place out because it's getting sold. And we're starting to pack things up and get rid of things that we don't need. Hence, I don't have as much time. So, if it ends up being not much stitching for the fortnight, I will add the plans part to this floss tube instead of doing a separate one. Okay, let's get started. I'll try and do the first week's stitching in one hit. Try to. Okay, so for the first one I picked up, I can't tell you when, it was at the start of the week, I'm sure. It was Parrot. It was a fun with cross stitch pattern. Here is the cover. Here is where I started from. It's not much different now. And here it is now. I ended up putting the thread that I had parked last time fully in, so that was a little bit here. I got the blues done fully on this side, I think. Yeah, the only stitches that need to be added is just a couple, or at least one colour in like the little hairs above his head. But I worked on in the blue, got all that done, and I started in the green. You can't really see it. There you go, the green, and I did a lot of filling here. It is done on a 14 count aided, dyed by Sharon, so it's a fully fun with cross stitch project. I ended up getting 202 stitches into it. The percentage was 22.71 and it is now 23.56. Not a big difference, but a little bit. Everything adds up eventually. So that was the Parrot. That was the first one that I picked up. And then I stitched for the Gridiron Grind project because it was the last pre-game for San Fran before the regular starts next weekend. And that is Sewing Cats. So here is a cover. Here where it was when I started, and here is where it got to with the amount that we got. Okay, so the scores were 30-22. San Fran got 30, so that equals to a 300 stitch. I just blanked on what I was going to say. Ended up putting in 379 stitches. I don't know the percentages because I have not put it down. But it did start at 25.94%. Yeah, so where I did most noticeable bit was the back stitching. I put in the rest of the pink that needed to be put in, and a little bit of the white of the piece of cloth. This is like all this here is finished, just needs back stitching. There's just a little bit on his foot, or no, it's not even his foot, it's on his backside, which is on here to be finished, and then this bit is done. I just need to back stitch it. I don't know if I put any other up here. I don't know. it was like a week ago. But you can see the difference from the before picture to the now. And it's coming along. This will be getting a lot of stitches coming in the future. And I'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so I think we had people coming through that through the next day, so you know, didn't get much stitching on that day. But then I did pick up Birthstone Gnomes. Okay, so here is Birthstone Gnomes cover and where it was when I started, and here it is now. Okay, hopefully you can see all that. As you can see, I put in the other colours to the hat. I'm pretty sure I didn't have a hat there the last time. I could be wrong. There is only one colour left just down here in the gem, and yeah, just his nose and his hand, I think, and just like his little buckle down here is left to be put into him. I may pick this up again, so you might see 2 clips of this one. Yeah, because I really want to finish. I don't want to leave him just like that, so I might pick him up today, finish him off, and start onto the December. I have seen about the writing, I guess that's all you can call it, backstitching letters for this one. I have seen some, and I might try them out, see which one I like better. So you might see that in the next clip of this one. Yeah, I think I might pick this up. Okay, so this is where it is right now. And if you don't see it again, then I didn't pick it up. Alright, so at the moment it has gotten 434 stitches, and they were mainly in the hat because, yeah, that was a big chunk that I needed to get done. There was a little bit of colouring that I needed to put into this, but yeah, it's coming along, and we'll get to it. Okay, so I think there's one more that I was working on or started. I did start a thing. This one you will see twice. I haven't finished with it. I haven't finished with it yet. I still want to stitch on it. Oh, okay, so these. Sorry. I've had these little patterns. I'll see if I can get a mock-up of them. Why I'm talking about it. And I've seen these around. Okay, I've seen these. I don't know if I can even see it with that one. Maybe not. They're Disney Girls with Friends. I've seen them on free pattern sites. If I remember, I will put it down in the box below. Also, I have seen them in a Facebook group not long ago be reposted. I did start the what is it, Snow White and the friend that she's got years ago when I first saw them, but then when I resaw them not long ago, I wanted to do a bigger piece, like all of them together that were there. So what I did, well, actually, Sharon, when I was talking to Sharon, she's like, why don't you pick where you want them, space them out, and see if you've got a piece of fabric that's big enough for them. I did that. I spaced it out, made sure I had enough, like a piece that I like that I could use, and then the next morning when I was just about to start, I'm like, where do I start? I don't know. Like, I know the one that I'm starting on, but I just didn't know where it was. So I decided to put each of the patterns into the pattern program that I have and space them out so I can stitch them, and you know, it's not going to be all wonky. So I'll show you the mock-up of how I'm going to be doing it. The three that are clean without any writing, you'll know what I mean, that I've redone and made sure the colours and all that were right. The rest I still need to do, but I don't know if you can see that. Oh. So the first time I did it, I had Snow White, and I had her pretty much, there you go, it's a little bit better, pretty much, well, not done, but her head was done, because that was a lot of stitching. But this time, because the middle is in between Snow White and I can't think of a name, but it's the one that I started, and see where the strand is? That was like a couple of stitches off the middle. So that's what mine's gonna end up looking like on the thing. And at the moment, right now, this is where I'm up to. So I've got her fully outlined and her little buddy halfway outlined. I started it a couple of days ago with interruptions. I had a surgical appointment on one day, which I got maybe 100 stitches when I got home. Yeah, and then other days I was cleaning out areas and packing and moving and all that, like all that stuff you do when you pack enough house. So at the moment, and like I said, I will be adding more to it this fortnight. At the moment it is 776%. No, that's how many stitches, not percent. That's crazy. But yeah, that's so far. I'm loving how it looks like. I would prefer it in the group that it's going to be. It is going to be a big piece, like it's folded up. But yeah, it's going to be a big piece, but I can't wait to get more into each of them. Yeah, they are, like I said, they are free patterns. I will put the artist name. I know his first name's David. It's like Gibson or something like that, but it's there, and I will write it down. But yeah, that's it that I've done this week. Like I said, not a lot. I think I've got less than 2,000 stitches in, where usually in the first week I get most of my stitching. Like I said, I think in the first bit, if the actual WIP update isn't too long, then I will add things to it. Sharon did come up with a game that is similar to Gridiron Grime, but it's got it's for the Big Bash cricket over here, and it's starts in November, early November for the females, and that goes until mid-December, and then the next day after their comp finishes, the males start. But I will do a clip about which ones I'm doing, because I do want to support her and do that as well. Like I said, Sewing Cats is going to have a lot of stitches, which is fine because it'll get done faster. Yeah, but that will be in another clip, hopefully on this Flosstube. Alright, I'll be back soon. Bye. Okay, this clip is for week 2. I worked on 3 WIPs and started one yesterday. Well, kind of. There's like 20 stitches in it, if you call that a start. Okay, so the first one I stitch on was continuing on with the Disney Girls and Friends. You would have seen what it looks like in the previous clip from last week, and I added about 400 stitches into it. So here it is now. It doesn't look like it's done anything, but I finished off the little guy, put some white into it, and I don't know if you can see it, but I have her face is stitched. Sorry, this is backwards. Her face is stitched. So she's got the eyes are fully done. Just need some cheeks and the little mouth that's here for her face to be done, and into her socks. I really like stitching on it. I like the fabric. Yeah, I think you'll see these ones a lot because they are pretty, just grab and go kind of thing. So yeah, all up, it has now got 1200 stitches into it, which is pretty good because I only started it, I think, well, yeah, it was last week, but I don't know what day it was. Yeah, so that's her. Pretty good. Happy with the progress so far. Yeah. Oh, she's stitched on 28 count 2/2. It's a monthly fabric from Crafty Leanie. I'll put information for her down the bottom. If you ever want an awesome fabric and you're in Australia, she is one of them to get from for sure. And Color Cascades, I think it is. They're over in Western Australia, but they're just as good. So yeah, that's that progress. Hopefully you'll see that actually next week. Okay, so the next one I was working on was a WIP Go that I had to finish. I don't know if it was WIP Go for this month or last month. Either way, it was a WIP Go call that I had to get done. Here is the cover. Pretty sure I've got a photo of where it was the last time. And here it is now. It's on a 28 count linen, dyed by Crystal Rowe from Crystal Rowe Flosstube. As you can see, I finished off the heart, so that bit's done, and I added the fruit bat. I think that's what it is. Started. Now all I have to do is just finish off around here, put a couple of, I think they're flowers. I just can't think of what they are. I think some waratahs, a little love heart with like made out of Australia flag. I think there's a black swan in this part. I could be wrong. There's something black over here. I think it is a black swan. And then there's something else. But yeah, that's coming along. It is, I know this is over 50% now. I think it's actually it's 51.13%. And I got 316. So yeah, that's one stitch at a time because it's done in fancy floss, so it slows the stitching down. But I was happy with that. Got the heart done, it all worked out. There was no like frogging or anything in that part, at least, because I double checked, triple checked the stitch, the count on it. So that's done, and you'll more than likely see this until it's finished. Sorry, I'm rushing and I'm muddling up my words, so I just need to slow down. So yeah, that is Australia Heart by, well, it's Hearts of the Seasons. Was a charity box that you got from, what is it, Cottage Garden Threads, to help her mum, because she had to do something to do with the heart. It was Hearts for Pam, I think it ended up being called. And this was the one from one of the designs from Blue Flower. So if you've got the Seasons of the Hearts, like all the seasons, this is the same size and same thing. It's an Australian version of it because it's an Australian thing. So that's what it is. Happy with it. Hopefully soon finish this year. We'll try. We'll try. The next one was a stamp kit. It is what I call garden rabbits. I'll put the image up of the art, and I think I took a photo before I started it. I really hope I did. I was working up in the mountains part, and I'm like, I need a little bit of a change. So I went down and worked on one of the rabbits. So here we go. Oh, this is what the bottom's looking like at the moment. There's a little bit more, but it's just grass and like, yeah, nearly can see it, all of it. So this time I worked in this rabbit here. I brought down the umbrella. I've done some outline. Got the cheeks all done. I think I finished all except for one color of her clothes, which, looking at it through the camera, looks cool. When you're looking at it up close, it does not look like anything. You can see that's the rabbit, but this bit here, you can't work it out. But yeah, that looks awesome. This will most probably be one of the ones that I'll be working on, especially throughout the moving and people coming to see the place. It's just easy, and my mind doesn't have to be thinking too hard, if that makes sense. For me, with stamp kits, it's just a stitch. You don't have to think about it. But with counted, it's in the thing. You have to think about where you're going, kind of thing. But yeah, I ended up getting, what did I get? 493 stitches into this area of the piece. Yeah, it was, I was going to say something and I don't know. Yeah, it will come back out for sure. I can't think of what I was going to say. So yes, the rabbits. Oh, that's what I was going to say. My other stamp kit, which is a Cartoon Town, I'm doing with Christine. She has a Flosstube. I'll shout her out. Pretty sure it's Journals and Stitches. I will put a little image up here for her. She is in our group in Fun with Cross Stitch, and when she saw me, the Cartoon Town, in me WIP parade, or me kit parade, she's like, oh, I've got that, I want to start it, or I want to stitch on it more, if she didn't have it already started. Yeah, but go check her out. She does a lot of different stitching, and yeah, I think if you like what I do, or like what Sharon does, you'll like what she does. And she's also done a little game where, because she doesn't follow gridiron, and she doesn't follow some other sports. She's used the Formula One to do a stitching game, so she's explained that in her last update, so go check it out. Yeah. Christine over at Journals and Stitches, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Okay, so the last thing I was working on, which was yesterday, and I'll explain something in a second, was I started on the autumn umbrellas. It is a counted, it's not a stamped. I ended up starting up here, so I counted from the middle all the way up, and that's where I started, and I got about 20 stitches into it. That is not great. Yeah, 20 stitches in it. So that bit there is, it is like the background of the what are they called? Leaves. The leaf. Yeah, I didn't get much onto it because there was an accident that happened literally out the front of our gate, and we went out to make sure that everyone involved was okay, which they were, thank goodness. But yeah, didn't get much onto it, but it's a start. Okay, I'll just take a break for a second and I will be back talking about the Big Bash game. Okay, this clip is for the Big Bash cricket game that Sharon came up with. It is a stitching game. It will start, I think it's the 9th of November to the 13th of December for the females competition, and then straight after that, on I think the next day, 14th of December to the end of January, is the males. So it's a fair whack, November, December, January, like 3 months worth of stitching, which is pretty good. I'm going to be doing a little bit different to Sharon, so she did do a Flosstube extra on it, and I will link that below, and she'll explain how she's doing it. But the way I am going to be doing stitching the runs for the winning teams, and I'll be doing 1 stitch per run because it will add up. Also doing 10 stitches per wicket for like each game. So it could be anywhere between, 400 to 600 stitches for each game, and that will add up because it's nearly every single day. Plus I've also got the gridiron grind stitching, so it'll add up. Okay, so there is, I think, eight teams. Yeah, 8 teams in the competitions. They're the same teams, like the team names and the amount, for males and females. And I'll be doing a WIP for each. So for the Brisbane Heat, I will be doing the Birthstone Gnomes. So instead of showing you at the moment, I'll just put the covers up because, there's still a month or two until the actual game starts. So showing you what I've got on it now is going to be completely different to when it starts. So I'll be doing Birthstone Gnomes for Brisbane Heat. For the Melbourne Renegades, I'll be doing Cherry Blossom, Miss Cherry Blossom. For Sydney Thunders, I'll be doing the Pointed Fifth. Melbourne Stars, I will be doing Australia Map. For Hobart Hurricanes, I'll be doing Panda from Gecko Rouge. For the Perth Scorchers, I will be doing the Garden Rabbits, or what I call Garden Rabbits. Adelaide Strikers, I'll be doing Evie, which is the stamp kit. And for Sydney Sixers, I'll be doing the Season Girls because I've only got 2 of them to do, like 2 of them left to do. If by any chance I finish one of them throughout the comps or before, I will respin and put something that is available to me. I've got like 20 WIPs that I'm able to do that I've left out because the rest I've already packed. Yeah, I'll go through a plans thing, and that plans will be for the rest of this year and next year going forward. I think that's it. Did I say for the wickets? No, I didn't. For the wickets, I'll be working on sewing cats, because sewing cats will be getting stitches from not only this one, but from Gridiron Grind. So that's going to get a decent amount of stitches, and that means they'll get done quicker, which is great. Okay, I will be back with the wrap up portion and anything else I can think of before saying goodbye to you. I'll be back in a second. Alright, for the wrap up, I worked on 7 WIPs over the fortnight and I got 3,165 stitches. A little bit under average of what I do, but that's expected with everything that's going on. I think going forward that I may have to do the clip once a week and then put it together every fortnight. I will try and do a plans video, either by itself or added to a Flosstube, just for little extra things. Yeah, that's over the month of August, if I didn't already say, I ended up getting just over 13,000 stitches into my WIPs over that month, which is awesome. If I can do that every month of the year, I'll be wrapped with the end amount. I think that's about it for the fortnight. Hopefully things chillax a little bit and I can get some more stitching into things. Okay, thank you very much for people that subscribed. I did not expect to have this many subscribers, but thank you. Do all the YouTube stuff, subscribe, comment, like, all the things. And I will see everyone hopefully next fortnight, which will be the 19th. Yes, the 19th of September. Alright. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye.